Vectis from the Isle of Wight, shining but bright, so pretty and long away, so feeling right. Where the sunlight sparks in summer heat, keep the rhythm of your breath.
This is Boris, former Prime Minister for Great Britain, and you are listening to Neil Vectis and the Vectisfabber verdict. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Vectisfabber verdict. Today I am going to be reviewing the 1978 silver screen musical, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Younger listeners, like my friend Janet, have probably never even heard of it. The Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie was a 1978 musical film that was loosely based on the 1967 Beatles album of the same name. The film featured an ensemble cast that included Peter Frampton, the Bee Gees, George Burns, Aerosmith, and others. The plot of the film followed a small-town band called the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band who become famous and encounter various challenges and villains. The film featured covers of many Beatles songs from the Sgt. Pepper's album and other Beatles hits. The movie was not well received by critics and was a box office failure, losing an estimated $20 million. It is considered one of the worst musical films ever made and has been criticized for its convoluted plot and poor execution of the Beatles' iconic music. Despite its poor reception, the film has developed a cult following over the years, with some fans appreciating its campy and over-the-top nature. However, it is generally regarded as a disappointing adaptation of the beloved Beatles album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is less a movie and more of a cinematic fever dream, a bewildering and ultimately disastrous attempt to adapt the legendary Beatles album into a feature-length musical. To call it a failure is an understatement. It's a monument to misguided ambition and a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked creative license. The core problem lies in the film's almost complete disconnect from the spirit and innovation of the original album. While the songs are presented, they are reinterpreted in ways that often strip them of their depth and meaning. Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees, while individually talented, lack the charisma and vocal power to convincingly embody the energy and artistry of the Beatles. Their performances feel neutered, lacking the raw emotion and psychedelic edge that made the original track so iconic. The arrangements are, to put it mildly, grating, trading the album's nuanced textures for a gaudy, overblown orchestral sound that feels dated and profoundly uncool. The plot, a loosely strung-together narrative about the band's rise to fame and their battle against an evil music executive, a hammy Donald Pleasance, is paper-thin and completely devoid of substance. The characters are caricatures, devoid of personality or emotional resonance. Billy Preston's Sgt. Pepper, a mysterious benefactor, feels completely out of place and adds little to the already convoluted storyline. The villains are cartoonishly evil, and the heroes are blandly virtuous, making it difficult to invest in their struggles. Visually, the film is a chaotic mess. The costume design is garish and often borders on the ridiculous, resembling a bad acid trip gone wrong. The sets are equally over the top, lacking any sense of cohesion or artistic vision. The special effects are laughably dated, even by the standards of the time, further contributing to the film's overall amateurish feel. Beyond the superficial flaws, the film fundamentally misunderstands the essence of the Beatles' work. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was a groundbreaking concept album that explored themes of identity, community, and the power of music. The film, however, reduces these complex ideas to a shallow and predictable narrative about good versus evil. It ignores the album's experimental spirit and instead offers a watered-down, commercialized version of the Beatles' legacy. Adding insult to injury, the film is plagued by pacing issues. The musical numbers are often strung together with little regard for narrative flow, resulting in a jarring and disjointed viewing experience. The film feels both rushed and overly long, a paradox that speaks to its fundamental lack of focus and direction. In conclusion, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band 1978 is a cinematic train wreck of epic proportions. It desecrates the legacy of the Beatles, insults the intelligence of the audience, and offers nothing of value in return. It's a painful reminder that not all artistic endeavors are created equal, and that sometimes, the best thing to do is to leave a masterpiece untouched. Instead of celebrating the brilliance of the original album, the film serves as a bizarre and ultimately regrettable footnote in the history of musical cinema. Stay far, far away. That would be my recommendation anyway. But if you really do want to explore it for yourself, then copies can often be found easily on the web. I've been Neil Vectis while you haven't. Until next time, Fabber fans.
Neil Vectis from the Isle of Wight, shining the night. So a little light of away, so living light. When the sunlight sparks and summer heat hit the rhythm of your beat.